Hey everyone, happy Monday, July 8th. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, wow. This vlog is going to be all about art journaling. I had the opportunity to get creative this weekend, and I did a double page that I'm really happy about. You know, it's one of those pages where it doesn't take long to create, and when you start creating, everything sort of falls into place, and then you try new things and it works. So I had one of those, what Oprah Winfrey calls her aha moments. Steph was down here and she was washing her brushes, and all of a sudden I went, ah! You know, the ah! that we get when we get artsy and creative. I filmed myself while I was doing it, so obviously it's going to be sped up. It's not really a tutorial, but you'll see my process from almost start to finish. It's actually 2 pages that I recycled because they were pages where I was doing some experiments while I was creating a tutorial for the store. Yeah, well, why don't I insert the clip right now, and then I'll come back and I'll show you 2 more pages. I love houses. I mean, it's almost a fascination. I love houses and artwork. There's a Montreal artist called Kathy Michaels. She does a lot of this type of artwork, and so I was inspired by her. Then I started adding my trees and I started finger painting, and that was fun. It was very liberating. I needed to put some thoughts down on paper, and you know, I find when I'm anxious about something, I feel that writing it down kind of demystifies it and lessens it a little bit. So if it's down on paper, it kind of takes not the worry away, but it helps. It helps. It's therapeutic, right? That's what art is supposed to be. Anyways, it is for me. Next, I'm going to show you 2 more pages that I did in my journal. One had been started a long time ago, and it was kind of like a work in progress. Now I finally finished it. But the first one I'm going to show you is what I did for the store on Friday. So with these 2 pages, I wanted to highlight 2 specific things. The first one was to create a background with silks, which are those acrylic glazes that I've used in the past, and I wish that you could actually feel this. Look at the glossiness that you get. Because it's a glaze, it has a very different texture than you know, paint. So I created the background by layering different colors and different intensity of the glaze. And what's cool about these glazes also is that they retain their true value. So you can layer them as much as you want and you'll never get mud, really. They're really totally amazing to work with. And then I took some rubbing alcohol and I put it in a mini mister like that, and I spritzed all over the page, and I'll give you a close-up so you can see. The alcohol sort of repelled the silks, and I was able to get those cool spots. They're all over. Not this one here. This is a stencil that I added with white paint later on, but I mean, look at that. Isn't that fun? I love it. Look at this side here. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. So this was the first step. And then what I did was I did another rubbing alcohol resist technique. You take acrylic paint. For this instance, I use black, and you dilute it with water. And then you take an eyedropper and you just drop your alcohol, and what it does is creates a pool. I can't show you because it's already done, but if you watch the tutorial, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It creates sort of like the center remains as is, and it sort of like creates like an eye, almost like there's the paint stays in the middle, and then on the sides it starts to repel the color. So you're left with an outline and a bit of paint in the middle. My paint was, I mean, it worked, but after a while the paint started running into each other and I lost some of the definition. The reason for this is that you have to find the proper consistency, the actual proper ratio of water to paint, and I haven't mastered that completely yet, so I will find the recipe. I'm also thinking that it might vary from one type of paint or one brand of paint to another, but I will try to see if I can work something out, and then I'll do another page with it, because I really like the idea of it. It's really cool. So after I did all my little, I call them pods, I sort of highlighted them with a white poster paint marker, and then added some perfect pearls in the middle. And these I just did with a brush. I just took the acrylic paint that was left over and I just did the stems. And then I added a bit of my journaling at the bottom. This is in French, Oser pour trouver la liberté d'expression, which roughly translate into, you know, you have to dare to find your creative voice. You just dare to do whatever you want to do. And then I added, of course, some molding paste with a stencil.
just so I have some texture to touch, because I really like that. And then another stencil here, which are the raindrops, I guess, by Prima, with some white paint. And that was one of the pages that I wanted to show you. Now, you've seen this, seen that. Okay, so this page, this double page, was a page where I was adding or getting rid of extra paint all the time. Whatever stencil I was using, if I was spraying, I just put it there, close the book, extra paint, put it down there, and it was basically a big old mess. Now, I have used, if you see here in the background, you'll probably notice the same stencil that I used for 2 weeks ago when I did the canvas, the big flower. This is called Perforated Dot Flower by Donna Downey, and it's with black paint. Of course, next to it was a whole bunch of garbage or whatever. There was even a title here that I didn't like. I had done some journaling that I didn't like. So what I did is I took some white paint and I covered whatever I wasn't crazy about. Then I took the stencil with some pink paint or fuchsia paint, and I did I repeated that pattern randomly throughout the page. I have here some washi tape just to add a pop of green, because I had some green originally on the page. And here, I'll give you a close-up here. And then this little heart is just a leftover glitter heart that I had in my stash. Have paint on my finger. With the microfine glitter, I just punched it out. I keep all the microfine glitter left over that I do, and because you can punch out of these things, so that came in handy. And I wanted a pop of red on the page. And I also used some old rub-ons by Stampin' Up! That I had in my stash. You can see here a little bit of the title. It was, I think it said "Why Not?" Yeah, it said "Why Not?" I just covered it up with white paint. It just adds to the texture of the page. I like it. And look here. This is texture that was created when I was closing the book after I put a whole bunch of paint. So this is like not a natural occurrence, very organic, and I love that. So by covering it up with paint, it created, it made the texture come to life, which I really like. Here at the bottom, another rub-on. Life is Beautiful. This here, Imagine. I love this spot here too, that beautiful splash of color next to the fuchsia. This is a very, very organic page. It just sort of happened in different stages, at different times, and now I can call it done. That's usually how I art journal. I go back to previous pages and I just, you know, add until I'm okay with it.
Alright, so as far as art journaling is concerned, that is the end of it. So, now I have a few housekeeping items that I want to discuss with you. On Friday, I received a phone call from one of my subscribers. Excuse me, but unfortunately, at the beginning of I missed the call, and the beginning of the message it breaks out, or it's kind of like the person started talking probably before the recording started, so I did not catch the name. All I know is I know obviously the phone number, and I know where the call originated, somewhere in Illinois. But here's the thing, and I have no problem with you guys calling me. That is absolutely okay. You're not invading my privacy. The only thing though is, because it's a call from the States, for me to call back is very, very expensive. This call came on my cell phone. That's the only phone I have. So for me to call long distance to the States is very expensive. So what I suggest at this point is to that person, if you're watching, whatever questions you might have, send me an email, and I will link my email in the description box below. And ask me those questions. We'll try it this way for now. If it works, then fine. I know sometimes it's hard to get the message across in an email, but we'll try it that way. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try and figure something out. But let's try with the email first. And like I said, you did nothing wrong. It's just that for me, because I'm on an extremely limited budget these days, I can't really incur those expenses. So item number 1. Item number 2, I have received a few comments lately about my handwriting. It makes me laugh because I don't think my handwriting is anything exceptional, but someone even went as far as suggesting that I should make a font out of it. So here's the deal. Like I said, I don't think it's exceptional, but if you are referring to what I call my fake calligraphy handwriting, where you see like some of the parts of a word is thicker than others, whereas it looks as if I have written with a calligraphy pen, it's fake. It's totally fake, and it's totally doable and is very easy. So if that is what you're referring to, I'm going to show you that in a future video, so have no fear. A font, at this point I have no idea how to make that, and I'm not sure that would fly. So we'll see about that, but at least I'll show you how I do my full calligraphy. The last thing is I have reached 2,000 subscribers, and thank you so much everybody for subscribing and commenting, and this has been an incredible journey since I started vlogging. I think I've mentioned this before. It's kind of like my outlet, especially these days, and to think that I'm being rewarded by people watching me is just incredible. So, and I do have a lot more to share, so I just see it as this never-ending fun thing that I'm doing, and I'm quite happy. All this to say that yes, I had a 1,000 subscriber giveaway in the past, but like I explained before, I'm on a limited budget right now, so I will do a giveaway, but I want to try something different, and I hope that this won't sound what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to, I don't know how to explain this, but what I want to do is I want to give away something that I make. I would like to make a canvas. I hope it doesn't sound too presumptuous. Presumptuous? Presumptuous? I should have looked up the word before I started talking, but anyways, I don't mean to say that my artwork is worth giving to you, but I personally love to receive handmade items. I've always loved that, and I like art in general. So any type of art, beautiful things, beautiful things. Again, it's still subjective. Okay, I'm not expressing myself really well, but I think that giving away something handmade might be fun. I don't know. I mean, it's just a suggestion. It's not a suggestion. This is what I'm gonna do, and who knows, you know, at my 3,000th subscriber I will have the means to do something bigger and better, but for now I will include little things. You know, I have collected over the years stuff that are not open, but they might not be the latest greatest, and they might not be the most expensive things, but I still like to reward you guys because I don't know, it makes me feel good. So, and by making something specific for one of you guys would make me feel really happy, and I hope that if you are the recipient that you will like it. Anyways, that's very scary to say for me because, you know, I think like everybody, it's always tough to admit that you like something that you do. I mean, it might happen here and there, but it's still scary. It's still scary to say, I've done something that I'm proud of. I'm working on that. Anyways, so that is it. I'm short of embarrassing myself. I'm going to end this here. I hope that you are having a good day, and thanks for watching. Again, thank you for all my subscribers, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will see you later. Bye!